Next on Special Report, the Senate prepares to vote on a modified financial rescue plan amid hopes that passage there will spur the House to do the same thing later. Both presidential candidates support the plan and return to Washington to vote for it. The stock markets are basically flat, with a slight easing in some credit markets. John McCain says he's confident PBS anchor Gwen Ifill will be fair in moderating Thursday's vice presidential debate, despite controversy over a book she's writing about, quote, the age of Obama. All that plus Krauthammer, Liasson, and Salmon right here, right now. Welcome to Washington. I'm Britt Hume. The Senate is poised to vote later tonight on a new version of that bill aimed at stabilizing the shaky American economy. The House rejected the first attempt at such a package Monday, but pressure on lawmakers to do something is growing by the minute. Correspondent Molly Henneberg reports on today's action on Capitol Hill.
No more waiting on the House. Senate leaders decided to jump in and schedule a late-night vote tonight on the economic rescue bill, which is expected to pass this chamber readily, and put pressure on the House to do the same.
I say to my friends in the House of Representatives, we've got to get this done.
We believe that we have crafted a way to go forward and to get us back on track.
It's still the same $700 billion plan that the House rejected on Monday for the government to buy up the so-called toxic assets from private institutions and hopefully resell them for a profit when the market recovers. But there have been additions, increasing the amount of your money the federal government will insure from $100,000 to $250,000. New accounting changes to allow businesses to value some troubled assets at a fairer market price. And a package of tax breaks for businesses and individuals.
Things like the research and development tax credit, the teacher tax credit, and a variety of others. Those are partially offset. And then it also has the so-called alternative minimum tax fix in it so that it does not apply to about 23 million people again this year. The object is for people not to have to pay the AMT.
That's a tax originally aimed at wealthy taxpayers, but which has not been indexed for inflation, so it's been hitting the middle class more and more. Still, Republican opponents say the rescue plan is just too much government intervention, and they just don't like it.
They've sweetened it up, and they hope to sweeten it enough to pass the House tomorrow. But still, if it's flawed and unnecessary to borrow this kind of money, there could have been other approaches.
Today, President Bush made private phone calls to members of Congress, urging them to vote for the bill, as he did publicly this afternoon.
It's very important for us to pass this piece of legislation so as to stabilize the situation, so that it doesn't get worse, and that our fellow citizens lose wealth and work.
If the bill passes the Senate as expected, then the focus shifts back to the House, where the chairman of the Conservative Republican Study Committee, Texas Representative Jeb Hensarling, sent a letter to its members today, most of whom voted against the measure on Monday. He's pushing the committee's alternative package, which he said, quote, would solve the credit crisis, protect taxpayers, and not fundamentally alter our nation's free market system. Also, some of the moderate House Democrats may not like the tax cuts in the bill because they aren't paid for in the Senate version. So what happens now? A late-night vote in the Senate. Then if it passes, it goes to the House, which will take it up tomorrow and either vote late tonight, but most likely Friday. And keep in mind that the exact same bill has to pass the Senate and the House before it goes to the President. And the bill we're talking about, Britt, looks like this. All 450 pages of it. A little light reading while we wait for the vote tonight. Britt.
When you get through, let us know. That'll be sometime next month.